Good afternoon, all the students, teachers and friends. सर आवाज आ रहा है क्या? Am I audible?
Yes, continue.
Myself, Ayesha Yasmeen Sheikh Rabbani. In 2022 PET examination, I have qualified my PET exam with the toppers marks, and nowadays I am working as a junior lecturer. I have completed my masters in botany, zoology, and education. So, as per the suggestion of the sir, thank you, sir, for providing me such an uh, situation and such a guest lecture. Am I audible to all? Okay, we will discuss here PYQs of PET examination that has conducted in 2022 last time. Yes, so we will start. Our first question is here. Classical example of codominance is. Sir, sound आ रहा है?
Yes, continue.
Okay, sir. Okay. Yes. So first question is here. Classical example of codominance is. So first of all, what is codominance? This question is related with the inheritance in human beings. What is mean by codominance? जब inheritance होता है, कैरेक्टर्स इनहेरिट होते हैं, ट्रेड्स इनहेरिट होते हैं, तो किसी भी कैरेक्टर के लिए for any one character there is a single gene responsible for that, and single gene having a two alleles in that to control that factor or that character. So any one gene, any gene, each and every gene consists of two alleles. So here, if both the alleles are inheriting in the next generation, then in such condition, this situation is or phenomenon is called codominance. So here, classical example of codominance is inheritance of blood group AB. This is the example of codominance because here for the blood group A and B are the two alleles, and these two alleles are simultaneously inheriting in the next transferring here. Now in the next question, in which of the following cells lysosomes are absent? So lysosomes are absent. Lysosome is nothing but the cell organelle which having a hydrolytic enzyme. Lysosomes are absent in the erythrocytes. Erythrocytes are our blood corpuscles. RBCs भी कहते हैं हम इसको. So in erythrocytes, lysosomes are absent for carrying more and more hemoglobin to bind with the iron. Okay, next question, please. So our next question is in C star, madiporite is the opening for. Madiporite is an opening which is present in the water vascular system. Madiporite, water current moves in the body of the sea star, which is aquatic animals. So water current flows through the water vascular system. So option B will be right here. In the next question, gray crescent is present in the. So gray, first of all, you get understand about the gray crescent. Gray crescent is present in between the vegetal and animal pole in the zygote of frog. So all the options having frog, from these all, option A is right, fertilized egg, because zygote of frog having vegetal and animal pole, and zygote forms after fertilization. Therefore, fertilized egg of the frog is the correct answer. Next question is the basic structure of antibodies are. Always you get to know antibodies having Y-shaped structure. Next question is which of the following helps to breathe in mammals? In mammals, breathing is performed by diaphragm. As we know, mammals having the lungs and all the respiratory system, and respiration is done by the diaphragm. So answer option A will be correct. Next question. The type of sugar in RNA is sugar in RNA. RNA is ribose nucleic acid. We have two type of nucleic acids. Yes, DNA and RNA. So in RNA, here pentose sugar is present to which nucleotides adenine, guanine, cytosine, and uracils are present. So here pentose sugar will be correct option. Now the next question. The major photochemical smoke is, first of all, get to know what is smoke. It is the combination of smoke and fog. So here, these are the result of pollution. Photochemical smoke is the result of air pollution, and chlorofluorocarbon is the major source for formation of smoke. The next question is, nematocysts are the agents of. So nematocyst, these it is nothing but the stinging organelle present in the members of the phylum Cnidarians. Stinging organ is responsible for the anchorage, offense, and defense. And these functions we are looking here in the option C. So option C will be right answer. Next question is, who discovered RNA polymerase? RNA polymerase discovery is performed by Wise, whose full name is Samuel Wise, and Leonard Gladstone. These two scientists work for the RNA polymerase. So we have option Wise. Option A will be right answer. The next question is, which of the following is the largest single membrane bound intracellular component? So as we know, largest single membrane bound cell organelle is nothing but endoplasmic reticulum. Cell's major compartment, major portion, and major area is covered by the endoplasmic reticulum. So here our answer will be endoplasmic reticulum. In the next question, which is asked about Drosophila. Drosophila follows which of the following mode of sex determination? So we should have to know all of these options because it's a much important topic from the inheritance. And this is second question asked from the field of genetics and inheritance. So option A is the right answer. XX and XY system of sex determination is used in the Drosophila. Along with this, see about option B. This type XX and XO type of sex determination system we follows for the grasshopper, and option C ZW type of sex determination system we uses for the birds, and MMNN it's not in my study, so we talk about these three. See here, ZZ is used for the homozygote in female, whereas ZW heterozygote in female. Whereas XX denotes for the female, and XO from option B, it denotes for the male in the insects and grasshoppers. And 1X in the XX, first in the correct answer, XX represents female fly, whereas 1X chromosome shows male. If XO is present, therefore it will be used for the sterile male. So these all are the important options. You studied deeply about it. It's not possible in this session to take it deep. Okay, see here the next question. DNA unwinding is done by. DNA is deoxyribose nucleic acid present as a genetic material in animals and plants. So see here, we have option helicase is the correct answer because for the unwinding, we have to separate the two strands of the DNA which are joined by hydrogen bond. So helicase enzyme will be used to break the hydrogen bond present in between the two strands. Whereas other options are also most important. See here, ligase is used to form phosphodiester bond. Phosphodiester bond is present in between the two nucleotides. Each strand of DNA is formed from a long chain of nucleotide and each nucleotide is bound by two phosphodiester bonds. And whereas the option C, endonuclease, it breaks phosphodiester bond by, it's also called restriction endonuclease. Whereas exonuclease cleaves the nucleotide from the polynucleotide chain at the end position. So our correct answer will be option B, helicase. Now the next question, function of amniotic cavity is, and we know amniotic cavity, it is present in the zygote and it provides nourishment to the developing embryo. So here option A is the correct answer. It gives most appropriate answer. All the options given are the correct, but most appropriate answer is protection from desiccation and mechanical shock of the embryo is the main function of amniotic cavity. Other all the options are also correct, but most appropriate option is option A. Next question, number 15. On returning to the hive, honey bee perform a dance which indicate the distance and duration of food. What is it called? So honeybee performs several types of dances. Option A is the waggle dance, in which it goes somewhat straight and then later it goes back in a semicircle, and for another form in front direction, half circle, semicircle, and it completes one complete circle. Such a dance it uses when food is near about 150-meter away from the hive. And in the next dance, zigzag dance pattern, it follows wriggle dance pattern and foraging dance. These are several dance patterns. You studied deep these patterns because these are important questions for behavioral patterns. So option A is the right answer that it uses for distance of food. Now, question number 16 is space which separates arachnoid matter and dura matter. So this question is came from the central nervous system of the humans. And nervous system carries the brain and spinal cord. Brain is surrounded by the three meninges. These are the three protective layers around the brain and spinal cord. Outermost layer is called dura matter. Middle layer is called arachnoid matter, and innermost layer is called pia matter. So in between, here question is asked about arachnoid matter and dura matter. So in between these two layers, subdural space is present. So option C will be right. And see here the next question. The term ecosystem was proposed by. This term is proposed by Tansley. The scientist Tansley proposed the term ecosystem, whereas Lindman ने वर्क किया है इकोलॉजिस्ट, ही वाज आल्सो इकोलॉजिस्ट जिसने वर्क किया है ट्रॉपिक लेवल के ऊपर. ग्रेनेल, जिसका फुल नेम है जोसेफ ग्रेनेल, he also worked on the ecosystem and museum of vertebrate zoology. He knows about museum. And Torson, who's also ecologist and genetics, and he coined the term ecotype. So here we go with the option B, Tensley, who worked properly on who termed ecosystem. Next question. Chikungunya is a bacterial disease, fungal disease, protozoan disease, and viral disease. So as we know, chikungunya is caused by the virus, and the virus responsible for the chikungunya. And here also bacterial, fungal, and protozoal, all, so you have to studied all these type of diseases and their mode of causing. If there is responsible any vector is also involved in these diseases. Bacterial, fungal, protozoal, viral diseases are most common, most important. We are studying these diseases from the standard 8 to the higher education. So here option D is right answer. Now next question is community is asking for the correct definition of community, and community is nothing but the all populations of different species. When we combinedly call all the populations of different species, then we use the term community. It is also called ecosystem in simple language. And all the options we will learn. See here, species option A is species structure and diversity index. So species structures comes under community. Biomass also comes under community. But what is meant by biomass? A species having energy and what the product they produced in their body as a source of energy or protein or vitamins or minerals in the living organism. These all called biomass. And the option C is autotrophic and heterotrophic component. And in community, all the populations and all the species, they may be autotrophic and heterotrophic. So all these three options are correct. So we will go for the go with the all of these. Now the next answer is next question is PBR 322 has how which of the following selection markers? So PBR 322, it is the plasmid vector used in the field of genetics. So option C, both A and B, that is AMP and TET, these two are correct answers for the PBR 322. It is the plasmid that we cultivates in the laboratory for in the field of biotechnology. And these option A and B are the correct answers. So we go with the both A and B. Next question is in human, which of the following karyotype indicate Turner syndrome? So it is most one of the more interesting question. Turner syndrome is the syndrome which shows female born with the only one X chromosome. Only one X chromosome is present, whereas there should have to be two X chromosome in the female. So one X chromosome less is present, and this we can see in the option C with 22 pairs of the autosomes and only one X is shown is here. And this is the right answer, whereas option B shows 22 pairs of autosomes and XX. It is the used for the normal female. In humans, we are talking about humans. And here in the option D, 22 pairs of autosomes X, 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 and Y. This type of chromosome set shows aneuploidy in males and it causes infertility. Another one disease related with the Turner syndrome I'll like to discuss here, that is a Klinefelter syndrome. It is too much related with this. In Turner syndrome, one X chromosome is less in female, whereas in Klinefelter syndrome, male born with the one extra X chromosome. So both the diseases are related with the X chromosome. One less X chromosome is Turner syndrome, and one extra chromosome in male is the Klinefelter syndrome. Okay. So next question is, which of the following statement is true about conventional energy sources? So conventional energy source is the source of energy which is non-renewable sources. So we can get examples that coal, oil, natural gas, nuclear energy, petrol, all these are non-renewable sources. So all the options given here are correct. See here, they cause minimum pollution. They are available in limited quantity. Coal is most conventional energy source in the world. There are sufficient reserve of coal, petroleum, and natural gas for the next 300 years. And all these options are correct, but most appropriate answer, and that is nowadays mostly required answer, is available in limited quantity. Option B will be correct. Now, in the next question, ask about the acid rain is a result of excess amount of what? So we know acid rain means rain having pH less than 4 and 4 to 5 pH. So see here, option A is carbon dioxide, option B is ammonia, option C is sulfur and nitrogen dioxide, and option D is carbon monoxide. So see here, sulfur and nitrogen dioxide, when combines with the water, it produces sulfuric acid and nitric acid in option C. So option C will be right answer because it produces sulfuric and nitric acid. Now here the next question is, the theory of origin of life on the earth is proposed by. Ask about the theory of origin of life. So this theory is proposed by Haldane, whose complete name is Oparian-Haldane theory that we have studied in standard 12. And it is a widely accepted theory. This theory tells about the living organism. For the first time, they are came from the non-living matter, and that non-living matter he named as coacervates and probionts. These names are given by the Haldane for the non-living matter from which living organisms are came for the first time on the earth. And another two scientists here, Stanley Miller and H.C. Urey, they also worked for the inheritance pattern and evolution. And Lamarck is also one of the most important evolutionary researchers who worked for the acquired character. So here option A will be right. Now the next question is, cuticle in Ascaris is an adaptation for. Ascaris is the animal, or it is also called small intestinal round worm. It is parasitic in nature. It will be parasite for humans, pigs, dogs, and cat. And Ascaris for their nature parasitism, which we can see in the option A. Parasitism is the right answer. So cuticle is for the purpose of parasitism. Now the next question is, which of the following is a vestigial organ? What is meaning of vestigial organ? The organ that is not in function nowadays and in previous timing that was in work. So we can see here in the option intestinal villi, it is present in small intestine, that is functional. Papillae we can see in the kidney, it is nowadays functional organ. Whereas vermiform appendix, it is attached at last part of the large intestine. And vermiform appendix in the evolutionary history, humans or the monkeys was uses to digest the cellulose which is present in the grass and plants. And this vermiform appendix is the right answer, and it is the proof of human evolutionary ancestry. So option C will be right. Now in the next question, which of the following organelle is involved in cell plate formation? First of all, know what is cell plate. When cell divides, that is, it performs karyokinesis and cytokinesis, the two stages at the time of cell division. Cell plate is formed, and for the formation of cell plate, Golgi apparatus provide endosomal vesicle to dividing cell, and this endosomal vesicle is called phragmoplast. So option D is the right answer here. It provides cell plate. Now the next question belongs from the environment field of study. Here DDT is a major contributor to pollution because DDT is used in the pesticide. It is a chemical present in the pesticide, and to prevent our crop, we uses this type of chemical. And this type of chemical is non-biodegradable. This option C shows this. It is non-biodegradable, and when we throw it on the crop, animals feed on the plants, that is herbivores eats this, and in the body of herbivore this DDT goes as it is mode, and herbivore suffers from the several diseases, and this is non degradable, non eliminatable, and not digestible. So it is DDT is major contributor for to cause pollution. So option C is the right answer. Now, in the next question, ratio of complementary gene is. This question is also belongs from the field of genetics and inheritance. So, several questions has we are seeing here. Complementary genes shows 9:7 ratio in genotype and in phenotype. Genotype and phenotypic ratio for the complementary genes are similar, that is 9:7. And 9:3:4 ratio we can see in the supplementary gene. And here for this question, I suggest you all to study in detail about the complementary gene, supplementary gene, multiple allele, codominance, and you can get this content from the HSC textbook, and chapter I'll also suggest you inheritance and variation. And in our BSc and MSc syllabus, UG and PG syllabus, you also studied about this. So option D is the right here because it shows genotypic and phenotypic ratio 9:7. Now the next question is, amongst the human infecting malarial parasite, which one of the following is the most common? Malarial parasite. Plasmodium vivax, given all the four options, Plasmodium ovale, Plasmodium vivax, Plasmodium falciparum, Plasmodium malaria, these all the species of the genus Plasmodium, and these all causes several type of malaria, and for these Plasmodium belongs from the phylum Protozoa. So from these all four, option B, Plasmodium vivax is dominant parasite. Dominant parasite means it controls all the other recessive alleles. So here option B is the right answer. Now see, which of the following is not the function of plasma membrane? Plasma membrane is the cell organelle present in all the cells, and intercellular interaction, responding to external stimuli, energy transduction. These all the functions of the plasma membrane, but assisting in chromosome segregation. Plasma membrane is not involved in chromosome segregation. Chromosome segregation is the function performed at the time of cell division. And for the cell division, genetic material is involved, centromere is involved, centriole is involved, but not the plasma membrane. So option D will be correct answer. The next question is, name the RNA molecule which is used to carry genetic information copied from DNA. This process is called central dogma, that is production of protein. And for the purpose of producing protein, our cells required genetic information that is present in the DNA, and protein is producing in the ribosomes. Ribosomes produces protein, and protein ribosome required genetic material from the DNA. So mRNA is responsible for bringing message, as it names mRNA, that is messenger RNA, is responsible for the bringing message from the DNA to the outside of the nucleus, up to the ribosome. So option B will be right here. And another three options are also too much basic, and you study that. Now the next question is, Neanderthal man differ from modern man in. So Neanderthal man is the evolutionary man, and we have evolved from the Neanderthal man, and we have well developed features. Cranial capacity is also well developed here. So Neanderthal man having property protruding jaws. Protruding jaws means any one jaw from our upper and lower, just it outside it emerges out from the mouth, and such a jaws is called protruding jaws, which we can see in the Neanderthal man, which is our evolutionary man. So option B is the right answer. Now the next question is, linkage results in formation of more dash. So first of all, know about the linkage, and this question is also from the inheritance and genetics field. So see here, linkage is nothing but the inheritance of closely related genes from one generation to the next generation. When the new young one forms, the inheritance of genes occur here, and this phenomenon is called linkage. And linkage is responsible for the formation of offspring exact like the parents. So option C gives here our answer, parental phenotype. Phenotype is the phenomenon that we see in the organism, or the morphological structure is called phenotype. Parental phenotype can be seen in the offspring. It is called linkage. So option C is the right answer. The next question is, inheritance of acquired character was proposed by. This question also belongs from the field of genetics. See here, Hugo de Varis told about the mutation theory. The mutation theory, that is evolution responsible from the mutation. Hugo de Varis told about mutation. Charles Darwin told about the theory of evolution. Weismann told about tablet theory, whereas Lamarck, whose full name is Jean-Baptiste Lamarck, in 1801, he proposed acquired theory, inheritance of acquired character theory. According to this theory, Lamarck's tell the organism who tries to develop their characters and change it after birth. Such characters are called acquired character that he gained from several studies, and for several years it performs, and Lamarck told about this. So option D will be right. In the next question, intermediate host in the life cycle of Fasciola hepatica. Fasciola hepatica is a parasite. It is also called liver fluke. It causes disease fascioliasis. Fascioliasis affects liver and bile duct of human and another animals. So see here, for Fasciola hepatica, snail is intermediate host, which is we can see in option B, whereas pig, it is also intermediate host, but in Tania solium. Parasite Tania solium uses pig for vector or the intermediate host, which causes cysticercosis. Okay, option B is the right. And option C, amoebic crab disease causes, in which amoeba uses crab as an intermediate host. Now the next question is, which enzyme used to join bits of DNA? Again, this question brings from the genetics. DNA is deoxyribose nucleic acid, which having two strands, and here to join bits of DNA, each strand of DNA is formed from the several nucleotide, and to join each nucleotide with another nucleotide, we uses DNA ligase enzyme. Okay, so option B is the right. And these options we also studied in the question number 13. Now the next question is, which of the following cytokines stimulate the pre-junction of ISA that is required for mucosal immunity? So see here, mucosal immunity is the study of immunity in the mucosal sites. Mucosal sites in our body is respiratory tract, gastrointestinal tract, and genitourinary tract. These three tracts having mucus. So option C that tells about transforming growth factor beta, which perform growth, differentiation, and apoptosis as a result of mucosal immunity. Now the next question is the association between the ungulate यानी कि cattle and rumen bacteria is a well-known example of. Here ask about the association. Association is in between the cattle and rumen bacteria in body of the cattle. In his rumen of the cattle, there are several bacteria which are present in the digestive tract of the ruminant, and these two bacteria and cattle, these two are interlinked with each other, and these two gives beneficiaries for to each other, and this type of association is called obligate symbiosis, which we can see in the option C. Whereas parasitism is a type of association in which one organism is benefited and another organism is harmed. And last option C is neutralization, in which no one organism is getting benefiting, but both organisms lives with each other. So option C is right here. Now the next question, X-linked recessive gene would appear to. X-linked recessiveness, this question also belongs from the genetics. And see here, X-linked inheritance means it is related with the female. In human male, XY genes are present, whereas in human female, XX chromosomes are present. So here, X-linked recessive gene shows skip generation formula. Skip generation. That is, if a first person, suppose a man, show having a disease, so his daughter will have gene for that disease, but not disease. But his daughter is not diseased or affected by that disease, but his grandson will show that disease. So here daughter is skipped. Daughter is not affected by that chromosome. So such type of inheritance is called X-linked recessive gene or X-linked inheritance. So in this, one generation is skipped, one generation is benefited. She lives as a carrier but is not diseased, and the next generation show that disease. So such type of inheritance is called X-linked recessive. So option B will be right here. The next question is, which of the following metabolism is involved in phenylketonuria? First of all, get to know phenylketonuria is also called PKU, which is caused by recessive autosomal gene. This question also belongs from the genetism, and it is disease of genetics. See here, recessive autosomal gene causes phenylketonuria. In our body, a protein is present named as phenylalanine hydroxylase. An enzyme present phenylalanine hydroxylase tyrosine. As a result, phenylalanine gets accumulated in the blood and cerebrospinal fluid. Cerebrospinal fluid is the fluid which is present in our brain and spinal cord. So blood and cerebrospinal fluid having large amount of phenylalanine which is not getting converted in the tyrosine because of absence of enzyme phenylalanine hydroxylase. So mental retardation is caused here in the disease. So this is disease related with the metabolism of protein. So option A will be right here. Next question, please. Next question is mitochondria in the human sperm cell are occupied at. Asking about the human sperm, and human sperm having a head, and in this structure a head having a cap of lysosome, and below the head there is a middle piece having mitochondria in spiral shape. So option B is the right. Here mitochondria is present in the middle piece, and after the middle piece there is sperm tail is present. So option B is the right. In mid piece, mitochondria is present in spiral arrangement. Next question is monohybrid phenotypic and genotypic ratio is the same in the case of. This question is also belong from the genetics. See here, asking about monohybrid phenotype and genotype ratio. So here, option C is the right. Incomplete dominance shows monohybrid phenotype and genotypic ratio as similar. Incomplete dominance. There are several examples of the incomplete dominance. We can take an example of Mirabilis jalapa. If we cross Mirabilis jalapa, then phenotypic and genotypic ratio comes similar, and this is the right answer. Whereas multiple allele is also intragenic interaction. One gene controls here several alleles. And pleiotropy, we can see it is an interaction between the two different genes. And example of pleiotropy is sickle cell anemia. Epistasis is also mutation affected, depend on the background genetics. So here monohybrid phenotypic similar phenotypic and genotypic ratio we can see only in the incomplete dominance. Okay. The next question is which of the following provide water current by beating its flagellum? Flagella is the locomotory organ present in the lower organism. So for the beating flagella, a lower organism moves their body from one place to another place, and choanocytes are present for beating in the flagella. So option B is the right here. Another all also present as in the flagella, but choanocyte is responsible for the beating purpose. Now the next question is which of the following is not a deuterostome? Deuterostome here chordate, hemichordate, echinoderm. These all the three options belongs from the phylum Deuterostome. But mollusk is a different phylum in the classification of kingdom Animalia. Mollusk is a different phylum, and all the three options belongs from the phylum Deuterostome. So option C is odd one out. The next question is the random pattern of distribution of individual of a population over space is distribution of individual. It is nothing but the dispersion. distribution. Random pattern of distribution of individual is nothing but the dispersion. Whereas natality is the birth rate, mortality, option D, is the death rate of a population, and density is the population in a particular area in the particular time. So dispersion is nothing but the distribution of individual. Option B is the right answer. Next question, camel hump is. Here ask about the adaptation pattern. Camel is the best example of desert adaptation, and camel's hump show adaptation for the storage of food. So we can see full of food option in the B. So B is the right answer. The next question is persistence of larval condition is known as. Persistent larval condition we can see in the small babies, and it also we can see in the uh, persons or the babies which shows delayed development. Delayed development means there are something went wrong along with the development of the child. So this condition we studies in the neoteny. Neoteny shows persistence larval condition. So we go with the option A. The next and last question is the two strand in DNA double helix are joined by. I think near about third and fourth time ask about the different questions about the DNA. The DNA having double stranded structure, and the question is two strand are joined by, I told previously, a hydrogen bond is present in between the two strands of the DNA. So here we go with the option B, hydrogen bond, and phosphodiester bond is present in between the two nucleotide, and nucleotide sequence is present in single strand of DNA. Each single strand of DNA is formed from the phosphodiester bond in between the two successive nucleotides. So option B is the right answer for hydrogen bond is present between the two strands of the DNA.